We're on the road to the show. The people, the animals, and join in on the excitement as we prepare for the big one, the Royal Easter Show. We go bush for the facts on the axe.
So sharp they can shave a man's arm.
And stand in awe of the saw.
It's a sport that you've got to have strength, stamina and a lot of skill.
Find out if we've already met some winners.
We go at each other's throats.
See a multitasking sideshow.
Double spins in the fountain pattern. Watch close.
And go behind the scenes of the Grand Parade. All on the road to the show. The Sydney Royal Easter Show is underway and the crowds are here in force at the Sydney Showgrounds to experience the best of Australian agriculture and the country way of life. It's the biggest annual event in the Southern Hemisphere and a treasure trove of learning, fun and excitement with something for everyone. It's non-stop entertainment for 14 days. Along with all the fun, there are plenty of exhibitors with their game faces on. More than 5,000 competitions and almost 30,000 entries, and every single one of them has a fierce desire to win. First up is a competitive sport started in Tasmania in 1870. A firm favourite with showgoers, attracting over 500,000 spectators each year. Gary Reid takes us on a journey to meet Jack and Jill champions Amanda and Dale Beams and our current world champion Brad DeLoza.
Woodchop attracts the toughest men from across the country, with axes flying at over 150 kilometres an hour, striking tree trunks with over 2 tonnes of force, literally inches from their toes. Not just brawn, but brains are required as well, with axes so sharp they can shave a man's arm. I'm catching up with woodchopper Brad DeLoza and Jack and Jill team Amanda and Dale Beams to find out what it takes to be Sydney Royal Show champions. Hey, mate.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Good, how are things?
Hey, good to see you.
Still got your fingers, toes?
Yep, last count, they were all there, so far so good.
Oh, lovely. Now, defending champion of the Sydney Royal Easter Show, how's the training been going?
Yeah, been good. Yeah, really starting to ramp it up now with only, about a month out, so yeah, really starting to get into it.
What events are you competing at the show this year?
I'll be competing in 2 world titles. That'll be the 15-inch standing block championship and the 15-inch underhand championship. Because it is classed as the Wimbledon of wood chopping, it's the biggest show to win. All right, let's set a few up and get into it.
So, Brad, what is standing block?
Yeah, so standing block is where the log is clamped into the cradle vertically, like this. You draw the lines up, you cut halfway through the log from the front side, then you run around and cut the other half from the back and finish the log off. So them 3 drive hits, them last 3 hits, are the big hits that go up. So you put them in and they travel up through the timber here and before you turn onto the second side.
All right, let's turn. How many do you get the driving one? Boom. Nice work.
Thanks, bud.
This is underhand.
Yeah, this is the underhand, Gary, so it's pretty much exactly the same as a standing block, except the log's in the horizontal position.
So, Brad, let's just check this before you start.
Yep.
You're going to swing the axe. You're aiming for the 2 green lines either side of the log. Over 2 tonnes of pressure, 150 kilometres an hour, a razor-sharp axe, 2 inches from a pair of Dunlop volleys.
That's right. Dunlop volleys are the shoe of choice for most wood choppers.
Any close calls?
Not so far. I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had too many close calls, but you do see the odd toe here and there get cut off in the chopping ring.
All right, well, let's get started.
Righto.
Power hit to finish. Look at that. Now, same size log, Brad. as the standing block. How long does it take to get through a log in underhand?
Yeah, traditionally it's a little bit faster than standing block, sort of 35 to 40 second mark, I'd say.
From an outsider looking in, people would just think there's an axe, there's a bit of timber. The bigger, the stronger, the more muscly you are, just sheer brute force would cut through the log quicker. That's not the case?
No, not really, you know, like strength and endurance has certainly got a little bit to do with it, but it's not like golf. It's you don't have to be the biggest, strongest guy to hit the golf ball a long way, you know. It's all about your timing, technique and your natural ability and coordination.
So, if wood chopping's like golf, what's Jack and Jill's soaring like? Let's get the answer from fellow wood chopping champs, Amanda and Dale Beams.
So Amanda and Dale, what's Jack and Jill?
Well, Jack and Jill, it's done with a cross-cut saw, and used to be always two blokes sawing together. Then the girls started competing, so the girls commenced, they call it Jack and Jill.
It's a sport that you've got to have strength, you've got to have some stamina, and it's a lot of skill.
So Amanda, what inspired you to start wood chopping?
At Adelaide Show one year, I seen the girls competing with the guys in the Jack and Jill event. And after the show had finished, Dale said, oh, when we get back home, do you want to have a go? And, oh, yeah, I couldn't wait. I thought, yeah, great. So when we went back home, we started training, and 27 years, we've been sawing ever since.
So this is a cross-cut saw.
Yep, this is an M-tooth cross-cut saw.
And how sharp is it?
Those points are needle sharp.
So when you're in competition, how long will it take you to saw through a log?
Oh, you'll saw a 375 or a 15-inch log in Sydney in about 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it technique or just brute force that gets through the log?
No, you've got to have technique. The saw cuts both ways. If you're an experienced combination, you will push it and you will pull it at the same time with your partner. Right, we'll just nice easy start. We'll just feed it back like that. Keeping the saw flat, running as we're going the whole way, full length all the way. And as we go down the log, we actually go down with the saw, take our body weight down, so the saw actually stays at about shoulder to boob height and comes off.
11.2 seconds.
A little bit slower than that.
That's every question about wood chopping answered, apart from how much wood would a wood chop if a wood chop could chop wood. Brad reckons he can help me with that one.
So you look like a pretty big bloke, Gary. How about you have a crack at the underhand? What do you think?
Well, I'm not really dressed for it, but I can be.
You ready?
Ready.
Let's get into it. Excellent. Stand to your log. 1, 2, 3. How you going, Gary? Give me a yell when you're done.
What?
The Agricultural Society of New South Wales was formed in 1822 to encourage the highest possible standards in agriculture. The intent was to achieve this through competitions at the show. It worked because over 190 years later, the Sydney Royal competitions are recognised countrywide as a benchmark for livestock, fresh produce and a variety of other categories, including show jumping, wood chop, baking, arts and crafts and domestic animals, to name a few. As Society President Glenn Dudley explains.
The show has encouraged excellence in agriculture primarily through the competitions that we run at the show. Everybody wants to get a blue ribbon, everybody wants to be a winner, and the fact that they work very hard and improve their product each year is the reason that it's encouraging excellence.
Yes, food at the show is about more than dagwood dogs. Not that there's anything wrong with those. The man who knows how to get the best out of the award-winning foods and wine is Sydney Showground Executive Chef Tim Brown, who designs the mouth-watering menus for the Sydney Royal Cafe, among others.
I think it's great to celebrate and use the award-winning produce during the Easter show. It's a way of showcasing the products to the general public in the restaurants. We source out the best suppliers and producers in Australia. and then obviously make contact with them to actually supply us and work with them to design menus for the Easter show.
Miss Showgirl has had a special place in the show since 1962. And this year's competitors are enjoying some of Tim's food. Former Miss Showgirl and current judge, Dr. Ellen Downs, tells us what Miss Showgirl is all about.
The Miss Showgirl competition is absolutely not a beauty pageant. Even though we have some beautiful, well-presented young women here, they are ambassadors, they are highly educated, they are motivated young women who are making an excellent contribution to society, and they are not being judged on their looks.
And Jasmine Corbett, one of this year's entrants, is very focused on what winning can mean.
I think being crowned Miss Showgirl would be an exceptional honour, and I would love to demonstrate that I would be a brilliant ambassador for rural New South Wales.
Still to come on the road to the show. They've practiced for the big one.
This is a stunt show. It's dangerous.
Now we'll practice, make perfect.
It's the first time performing in front of the crowd and a bit nervous about how it's all going to go.
Gary goes walkies at the dog show.
Keep your head up, get into trouble.
And up next, putting their best foot forward for a spot in the Grand Parade.
He's a real show pony.
The Grand Parade is a highlight at the Sydney Easter Show for exhibitors and for those watching from the stands. At its peak, it can seem like every animal at the show is down there on the main arena, and animals are just a part of it. In fact, up to 500 animals, people and vehicles can make up a Grand Parade. And spare a thought for the announcer naming all creatures great and small as they make their entrance.
The Grand Parade will be one of the greatest shows of livestock that Australia can produce. We've got the best of all the cattle, we've got the best of all the horses, we've got the best. We see sheep, we see goats, we see pigs, all sorts of animals come out in the Grand Parade. It's an opportunity for city people to sit in comfort and see the best of what we have to offer. You only get the best that come out in the Grand Parade.
What would the Grand Parade be without cattle of all shapes and sizes? And this year, the feature breed is Brahman. Selwyn Weller and his family have been entering cattle into competitions here at the show for 50 years. And this year, they've returned with 17 Brahman. Oh, Selwyn, he is magnificent. Tell me a little bit about him.
Well, he's a real good bull, in my opinion. His shape, his leg structure, his hump. Beautiful hump on him, the way the hump sits in, and he's got a beautiful eye on the bull. Good muzzle where they've got to go and eat their grass. Yes, overall he's a real good bull.
So, why is he here?
He's here to be shown, see if he can win a broad ribbon.
What does that mean for him?
Well, it means for him, when you put him in a sale, adds more value to the bull.
Another veteran of the Grand Parade is Julie Crisp and her primped and preened pony, Holly's work of art.
I think Sydney Royal attracts the best of the best. Competition's always stiff, it's harder, but if you get up and you can win a class, then that's what everyone strives for. At Sydney Royal Easter Show this year, I will be competing in the open pony hack. Pony hack is a class where the horse is judged. It's not really about the rider. It's to do with presentation, how the horse moves over the ground, how the horse is put together, so his conformation. So you're looking at something that you would like to get on and go for a ride yourself, and something that catches your eye.
And catching the judge's eye will take a lot of time and a lot of hard work. Julie will spend hours primping Holly's work of art, so he's looking his very best for the Grand Parade. She starts by hosing him down. Next, she will give him a shave and get rid of any stray hairs before she painstakingly plaits his mane. Getting the braids perfect can take up to half an hour. Then she whitens his socks and blackens his hooves. Finally, she applies a checkerboard to his rump.
To do the checkerboards, we brush all the hair down one way, little bit of oil on it. And we have a little short comb about 1 inch wide. You can have it as big or as small as you like. And then we just start combing the hair the opposite way to what it's been brushed. Everyone has a different shaped pattern. The idea is it enhances the horse's rump, makes it look nice and round. He's a real show pony. He loves being out there and strutting his stuff. He's just a different horse when he gets out there. He just pricks the ears and does his thing. He's born to do it.
From the stylish to the sporty, Clinton Beresford has come from Bega to vie for a spot in the Grand Parade.
At the Royal Easter Show this year, I'll be competing in show jumping with one of my horses, Emmaville Jitterbug. Show jumping is quite a dangerous sport. You are dealing with a 600-kilo animal, basically, and it's actually quite hard to get them to cooperate at times, and the end result is quite rewarding.
Show jumping is a test of both skill and speed. The rider has to take his horse around the course as fast as possible without knocking over any poles.
The sound you most don't want to hear in the ring is definitely the sound of knocking a pole over. Sydney Royal is a very prestigious show for everybody, really. There's always the best horses and riders that go there and compete. It's always really good. If you win a ribbon at Sydney Royal, then you're with some of the best. Being part of the Grand Parade actually gives you a chance to show off how well you did at the show, so you actually can wear your ribbons.
So what's it like to walk out into the Grand Parade?
To walk on the Grand Parade is just the atmosphere. Just the atmosphere to see all the cattle, horses, all out in the Grand Parade. You know, it just is a buzz.
After so many years, do you get butterflies still?
Not as bad as what it used to. The first Grand Parade here, I was 15-year-old.
The first time you went in the Grand Parade?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you had butterflies. How did it all go?
Good, because it was the first time I've ever been to Sydney.
So the country boy came to the Big Smoke. Happy memories?
Happy memories. And I can remember saying, oh, fella, that'll be it. But 50 years later, I'm still here.
Thank God you are. We need the good old fellas for the memories to come. And join Selwyn and me later in the show when he walks out on the arena in his 51st year in the Grand Parade. Coming up on the road to the show, we sneak a peek at a sideshow.
I'm Lizard Man.
And next, whose district rules?
And the winner is...
And will the FMX new boy take flight? The district exhibitors have spent months planning and 2 weeks building their displays. It's a meticulous job, using up to 10,000 individual pieces of grain, wool, fruit and vegetables to create masterpieces of colour and scale here at the Woolworths Fresh Food Dome. The judges are looking at the results of all that hard work, and Lyndey Milan joins them to find out which district has come out on top this year.
Last time we met the super competitive teams vying for the district title and bragging rights for the next year.
There are 5 districts vying for the top prizes, each telling their own special story. South East Queensland highlights the hardship of walking in the farmer's boots. Northern District looks at how the weather affects the farmer's fortunes. Western's design reminds us about the constant threat of fire. Central celebrates the campaign for wool. And Southern District toasts the wines of the region. After months of planning and 2 weeks on-site building, now there's nothing left to do but wait while the judges make their final decision. Up for grabs are 3 trophies for the best district, the best display and the People's Choice Award.
As a judge, I'm looking for the produce that has been grown in the district and the display and the patterning, the texture, the colour, the composition. I'm also looking for something that's very emotive of the district. Some of them really, really come from the heart and have a great storytelling ability.
The winner of the District Exhibit Competition Perpetual Shield goes to Northern.
So Northern is back on top winning first prize for both display and produce.
There's still one important prize up for grabs. It's the People's Choice Award, judged by the public on the first day of the show.
My People's Choice is the Northern District.
I would vote in the public vote for the Northern District stand.
I would vote for my favourite to be Western District. It's very creative and it uses Elvis, our water helicopter.
I'm actually going to vote for the South East Queensland District.
Southern East Queensland District this year is quite impressive.
Central District gets my vote today. I really like the diverse way that they've really shown off how to use their wool.
And the winner of the Sydney Market's People's Choice Award is... Once again, put your hands together for Northern.
So how do you feel?
Oh, pretty excited.
We're very, very excited. I don't know whether it's ever been done before, 3 awards at once.
Well, my information is that it hasn't been done before.
Oh, wow.
So, and didn't you say to me the other day the one you wanted to win was the People's Choice?
Definitely, yeah, Lyndey, yeah. It is the big one, I think.
I think that's what it's all about. I mean, if the people come along and they see it and they like it, that's why we do it.
With 3 wins under his belt, Northern District's manager Arthur Johns has turned into quite the celebrity.
And what are you thinking about next?
Well, I was thinking about retirement actually, however, I'll go around again. I love to compete, I'm a fairly fierce competitor and that's the other reason I've got to come back and defend the crown again.
Well, congratulations and good luck for next year.
Thank you.
You may remember last time I caught up with the FMX boys, Brad and Kane. Kane told us how many things he'd broken.
Broken both ankles, pretty bad head injuries, a whole lot of broken ribs. Apart from that, I'm pretty good.
Well, before Kane could get to the Royal Easter Show, this happened. And if crashes aren't your thing, look away now.
Kane, last time we saw you, you were backflipping a motorbike 25 metres through the air. Tell us what happened.
Since I seen you last, I had 2 pretty big crashes.
How much pain were you in?
Out of 10, I'm going to have to say it was definitely an 11.
In hard numbers, what does that mean?
I now have 12 months off the bike. Sydney Royal Easter Show is one of the biggest events of the year, and to miss that, you know, it's shattering, but that's part of our job and it's what we do.
But the show must go on. And stepping into Kane's shoes today is rookie Harry Bink, partnering up with old hand Brad Birch.
Birchie, do you get scared or nervous with Harry for the first time here at the Easter Show?
Oh, I'm pretty excited for him. I mean, it's his first year here. It's 25,000 people every night, packed stadium, so he's going to enjoy it.
You think he's got what it takes?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Well, we certainly know what can go wrong. Let's hope it all goes right as the boys open the throttle and show their mettle.
Harry went awesome, so definitely proud of him.
Also putting on a show in the main arena are Girls, the stunt riding team, who we met with their founder and trainer, Heath Harris.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now all that's left to do is get some last-minute practice before the crowds fill the stadium.
This is a stunt show. It's dangerous. There's no 2 ways about it.
It's new girl Rebecca's first time doing this stunt in the main arena.
We're about to get out there for the first time ever and do another particular stunt. A girl riding 2 horses standing on their backs, jump off onto the ladder and up the top. That's a hard call. We're now crunch time, and this afternoon we're on.
The crowd is expecting something special, and the girls are feeling the pressure. They have to be meticulous, checking their horses, tack and saddles, among other things.
I hope. Does this lipstick look okay?
Final checks, then it's showtime.
My heart's beating 100 miles an hour, but I'm really excited to get out there. Ready to go.
you can hear everyone sort of cheering you on and clapping and cheering, excited for you to get there. It makes you ride harder, it makes the horses more excited, everything.
And now for the big finish that Christy was having trouble with in rehearsals.
I do get nervous, especially with the Roman riding, just because I've never done it before. This will be the first time I've been performing in front of a crowd.
And she nailed it.
The Girls and Showtime FMX team may be risking life and limb for our entertainment in the main arena. But Australiana in all its glory, the new nightly show will blow you away with its creativity and scale.
It's a celebration of all the icons, inventions and innovations that make Australia great. And it's the brainchild of Di Henry.
I'm a bit of a history buff and I really like what Australians have done from Indigenous times to now. I just sort of thought I'd try and sort of showcase some of that.
Rider entry.
Di's no stranger to big events. She's created entertainment for the Olympic and Commonwealth Games.
We bred merino sheep, which produce some of the finest wool in the world, and we've got a couple of our friends there.
Now, a lawnmower on a monster truck. Did people think you were crazy to suggest that?
One of the fun things about the show is the fact that we invented hills hoists and two-stroke mowers. So I thought, well, why not put it on a monster truck? Because they're also very noisy. So we've got a fantastic one, huge, on a monster truck, and he's chasing around a few cute little hills hoists.
Now, what do you expect the crowd's reaction to be the first night of the show?
I just think it'd be fantastic if not only they have a good time, if maybe they go away going, I didn't realise we invented all that stuff, and maybe they'll even go and do a bit more research afterwards.
Coming up, we meet possible future TV stars and a current one.
Big smile at the camera and away you go. It's pretty easy.
And up next, it's not dog eat dog, but the paws are out.
You think the dog knows if it wins or loses?
They do.
Really?
They do.
As the competition heats up at the dog show. Best in Show is the holy grail for thousands of Australia's dog breeders and owners. Everybody wants their best mate to be top dog here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. And this year is no different, with dogs of all shapes and sizes, petted and preened, bowed and brushed within an inch of their life before they go into the judging arena. We've let Gary off the leash to sniff out what it takes to be judged a champion.
There's over 4.2 million dogs in Australia, and at the Purina Sydney Royal Dog Show, the most outstanding of these canines will compete for the title of Best in Show.
Trying to make sense of all the bright eyes and bushy tails is show judge Frank Kane, veteran of British dog show Crufts.
I'd expect I'd be judging about 40 breeds over the next 12 days, so quite heavy going. Judges are looking to see which dog is closest to their breed standard. The breed standard lays down a blueprint for the breed, which tells you what features a dog should have. So the judge is comparing every dog in the class with that standard to see which is closest to perfection.
I met Nikki, who reckons her fox terrier is puppy perfection.
How long have you been showing dogs?
Since I was 6 years old. I'm now 22, so...
Wow. So do you think he's going to win today?
I hope so.
Do you think the dog knows if it wins or loses?
They do.
Really?
They do. My boy at home, if someone claps, he walks out to go get his ribbon, even if it's not him winning.
Wow. Now, what sort of dog's this?
This is an Australian Terrier.
Oh, lovely.
His name is Spalpeen Super Trooper at Horrigan. That's his show name.
Spalpeen Super Trooper at Horrigan.
Yes.
Wow.
Bit of a mouthful. Turbo for short. That's the way.
Yeah, I think Turbo's the go. He looks like a turbo.
Turbo's got me all charged up, so I wanted to walk the ring before the competition fires up for the day, with the help of my little friend.
Hi, Sina.
Hi, Gary. How are you going?
I'm going good. How are you?
Good, thank you. A gorgeous little puppy you've got there.
Yes. Now, I'm a bit inexperienced at this. So what advice can you give me to be a dog handler?
Well, for starters, I'd put him on the ground. That would help.
Okay, that's the
okay.
first one.
Yep.
Right.
So now you talk to him. Talking to him is very, very important. You must talk to them. It's a team.
What do I talk about?
So you just say, come on, mate,
All right.
call his name, always on the left.
On the left
And
hand?
you never get in between the judge and the dog.
So I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's give it a go. You
Let's
like?
go.
Yep, okay.
Come on.
No, don't run. A brisk walk. That's it. Beautiful.
Get up, come on.
Very nice.
Keep your head up. Get into trouble. And stop. Up. Watch.
Lovely finish. Beautiful.
Lovely. So how'd I do?
The dog was fantastic. You need a lot of work, but we can do that.
Over time.
It's doable. It's doable.
That's fun, but there's a lot more to it than just walking. And Labrador owner Guy Spagnolo knows all about it.
What happens here at the dog show? If this was my dog sitting here, what's next? What happens?
Well, we're starting to bring the dogs out. We just give them the final touches, maybe brush them down a little bit.
What are the judges looking for?
Well, with this breed, the main characteristics are head, coat and tail.
With the Labrador, the judge is looking for a strong foreface for retrieving. Dogs have to be fit for function. Big barrel ribs and a double coat, a waterproof undercoat, a hard top coat and a thick otter tail. They're principal features of the Labrador.
And is it true show dogs are trained not to sit?
Well, personally, I don't train my dogs to sit.
Sit.
He won't sit.
Sit.
He won't sit.
Good dog.
With Labrador judging about to begin, Guy is feeling the pressure. It's time to enter the cauldron of competition.
All right, off you go.
All owners try to impress the judge by a good performance in the ring. So they should be stood well to show them off their outline and balance, and when they move, good deportment's essential to show off their movement.
So it's important for the tail when they're walking to be up?
Should be, yeah.
Should be up?
Yep.
That one's not using it tail at all.
So the last dog, you see, he's got his tail out and he's moving really well.
The last dog actually looks the best.
It's my dog.
Oh, that's our dog. How do you think he's going? What do you feel from the judge at the moment?
I don't know. Fix his back end.
I'm still nervous. Are you nervous now?
Yep. Oh, yes, he's won it.
We've won it.
Yep.
We've got it. Oh, winner, winner.
Good boy. Well done.
Thank you.
It all comes down to this. Guy, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
First ribbon of many for the 2014 Sydney Royal Dog Show.
Thank you, mate.
I'm going to go check out some more
Okay,
dogs.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Up next on the road to the show, the entertainment goes into overdrive with scary sideshow stunts and the Wimbledon of woodchop.
My experience might help, but these young blokes, they're going pretty good. I've been chasing them all year.
Male and female competitors have flown from all over the world to compete in the Wimbledon of woodchop here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Earlier, we met champion Jack and Jill duo, Amanda and Dale Beams, as they prepared to contest another title. And world champion Brad DeLoza showed he won't be giving up his crown in a hurry. Gary gets a handle on the final results.
Earlier, I caught up with husband and wife woodchoppers Amanda and Dale Beams and world champion axeman Brad DeLoza. Brad is the current world underhand and timber sport champion. He's also held the title of New South Wales Champion of Champions for the last 9 years.
What event are you about to compete in?
So this is the 14-inch underhand handicaps.
Is that the one I'm an expert in?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you've showed a fair bit of talent in that.
Brad's in the blue singlet closest to us, and because he's highest ranked, he starts last in the count.
So, Brad, how'd you go?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, a couple of little rough hits and a few sticks there, and lost balance once. But yeah, other than that, it's all right. It's always good to get the first one out of the way, you know.
We leave Brad to pursue another title and catch up with Dale Beams to tell us about tree felling, another favourite with the wood chopping crowd.
Tree felling's replicating the old timers going up the big butts in the bush and going up a couple of boards and getting up where they can get the timber down easier. And probably the hardest thing about tree felling is to get the technique right of cutting your board holes. Today, the age range in my event would be possibly I'll be the oldest in the field, and then we go down to the youngest, which will probably be young Daniel Gurd, about 16. My experience might help, but these young blokes, they're going pretty good. I've been chasing them all year.
Like the standing block, it's a handicapped start. The competitors then cut their plank notches all the way up one side first. Then they come down the plank and chop their notches up the other side. Then, with their planks in the notch at the top, some top-notch chopping can begin.
The competition this year is going to be good. I've been here 2 days, so we've only had 2 days in. Things are shaping up. It's going to be some fierce competition for the rest of the week.
Wherever you go here, you're guaranteed to see prize winners and star attractions. Here at the Channel 7 studio at the show, anyone can become a star newsreader.
Be sure to stop and say hello to all of the friendly animals like the horses, cattle and sheep.
You get the chance to meet familiar faces like Sarah Cumming.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hello,
Sarah.
Do you mind if we have a photo?
Sure, why not?
I think that's what you do while you're here.
Absolutely, on the red carpet.
There's a whole lot of new newsreaders here. Are you a little worried? Anyone you've got your eye on and gone, oh, look?
I am actually. They're pint-sized, but they're amazing. They're very talented. They just sit there and they get it straight away. So I think we should be a little concerned.
I got the chance to read the news with Mark Ferguson. I'm Bridget Adams.
And I'm Bridget's co-host Mark Ferguson, and we're here for the second day of the Royal Easter Show.
There's a lot on offer today, including the larger-than-life dinosaur. And believe me, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, just keep going. We're live.
Is that the tips?
We're live.
Oh my God, we're
live. Come on.
OK, you being the expert, can you give me a few little tips? What are the secrets to being a good newsreader?
What are the secrets? I guess just try and be yourself. Sit up straight, big loud voice, not too loud, but just big smile at the camera and away you go. It's pretty easy. It'll be great.
Should I have a go?
I think you should.
I am a little nervous. It's not my thing.
I think you'll be good.
OK, then.
OK, let's have a go.
All right. 3. Of course, it all wraps up tonight in the main stadium with the fireworks spectacular.
Bridget and I hope you have a
wonderful day.
Good on you.
When you think of the Easter show, the country, the cattle and the carnival automatically come to mind. But what about Lizard Man, nail beds and sword swallowing? I didn't think so. The Psycho Sideshow is made up of Shep, Space Cowboy, Ariel Manx and the Lizard Man, with each having their own psycho speciality.
It's really about a celebration of difference. It's about an exploration of the human body and its potential. It's about celebrating cool stuff and having a bit of a party on stage. In this particular version of the Psycho Sideshow, I'm going to be lying on a bed of nails and having my friend, the Space Cowboy, ride over me on a motorbike.
You are mad.
Yeah, but you've got to do something for a living.
I'm Lizard Man.
OK, talk me through your body modifications.
Well, I've had about 700 hours of tattooing, covers my entire body. I've had Teflon implants placed on my forehead to give me the horned ridges over my eyes. I've had my teeth filed down into sharp points, and I've had my tongue bifurcated, split into like that of a snake. You know, if you give a kid markers, some will draw on paper, some will draw on the walls, some will draw on themselves. It's easy to guess what kind I was.
Now tell me, how did you start swallowing swords?
I started initially with drumsticks, then with pool cues, and then when I was comfortable with a pool cue, I moved on to swallowing real swords.
But why?
It seems beautiful in that it's impossible.
And the Space Cowboy has got his own unique way of handling knives. So when you're doing really dangerous stuff, there's obviously no margin for error.
You definitely don't want to catch the wrong end, that's for sure. What I wanted to see was the more dangerous and bizarre acts to try to work out, what you can do with the body that other people shouldn't, wouldn't or couldn't do.
So you never really know what you're going to get, but you know that it will be exciting and you probably will remember it long after the show's finished.
Sideshow!
Up next, the main arena fills to the brim with the Grand Parade. It's almost time for the highlight of the show, and I'm here with Selwyn, who has just sent his bull Lumberjack off to be marshalled, getting ready for the Grand Parade. How did Lumberjack go?
Very happy. Got fourth in his class.
Got to be happy with that, don't
Yes.
you? Oh, you get emotional about that. What is it like to walk a bull around? It can't be anything like walking a dog.
Nah, it's nothing like walking a dog. You got to have your wits with you all the time. It's a cooler afternoon when cattle love to get out and buck and kick in that cool air.
I think you actually better catch up to those cattle that have headed off. You'll miss the Grand Parade.
Yes, I better go.
I'll be watching from the stands.
Right, bye.
Bye. Once everyone is looking their best, it's time to take their place in line, ready to enter the arena. Hello there. This looks like a sheep train.
Well, it's actually the AWI ram train.
What is a ram train?
It's mimicking a bullock team, but the idea we put these rams together like this is so in one go we can show people all the different sorts of merino sheep that are in Australia. This is the first time there's ever been a sheep walked in a Grand Parade on this showground, so it's a bit of a world first happening to this afternoon.
How do you think they're going to go?
Well, on past performances, one step after the other.
Well, the animals are all lined up here just waiting to go in. It all seems very calm at the moment, but I wonder what it's going to be like when you get out there. What do you think?
Well, I hope it's all right.
I hope. I'll be crossing fingers for you.
Yes.
And the ringmaster leads the charge. Bulls, cows, horses, sheep, goats, alpacas. The Royal Easter Show Grand Parade is one of the biggest of its kind in the world.
It's a big honour. It's hard work to get to the show. We have to qualify our horses. We have to go to a lot of shows through the year to qualify to get here. Yeah, it's a good moment.
The Grand Parade is always a highlight, and once the arena is cleared, there is plenty of high-octane entertainment to keep the crowds on the edge of their seats right through until the fireworks every night. Thanks to all the people who let us into their world and shared their secrets of what it takes to prepare for the biggest event of their year, the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Until next year, bye for now.